All right, John Kuhn, who played fullback with the Green Bay Packers and knows Aaron Rodgers, was on CBS Sports Radio last night with Zach Gelb. Let's listen to hear. Let's listen to what? Listen to hear. They know what we mean. Some of the things John Kuhn had to say about the Aaron Rodgers situation last night, CBS Sports Radio.
I have talked with Aaron Rodgers, and I won't say exactly what we talked about. I will say he's conflicted because this man loves to play the game of football. This man loves to be a Green Bay Packer, and this man truly sees careers. He's watched friends leave. He watched Brett Favre's career towards the end. He's watched all these things play out in front of his eyes. He's taken notes throughout his entire career. He's seen some situations that didn't feel were done or finished the way that they could or should have. And he's just trying to take his own destiny within his own hands. And to that effect, I actually admire him because not many players in the NFL have that opportunity. I sure as heck didn't. I played until everybody told me you can't play anymore, and it's a humbling feeling. And Aaron Rodgers has an opportunity to try and, take a little bit of that power back.
So he hasn't ruled out a return to Green Bay, is what you're telling me. Are you saying that at all?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I still believe there is an opportunity at a resolution here, and I just think it's going to take. It's going to take two men that are dug in right now and trying to meet in the middle somewhere where they're both happy.
Let me say this. If John Kuhn, number one, speaks to Aaron Rodgers, and then number two, pivots to do media and talk about it, he's either doing that at the express or implied direction of Rodgers, or he is risking joining the list that I've been on for 10 years, that others have been added to, the list that has become a full-blown notebook. I don't think that this was a mistake.
I don't either.
We could fairly call John Kuhn a surrogate for Aaron Rodgers, aimed at getting the message out as to what he wants. And Kuhn also said he wants more insurance that he's going to be a long-term starting quarterback option. He doesn't want to do it on a lame duck contract. You mentioned the lame duck contract earlier. Chris, we rarely nail something, like absolutely positively nail it.
Yeah.
We have nailed the assessment of the fundamental problem in the relationship for months.
Yeah.
The Packers want to have him in that year at a time, will decide based upon how he plays in any given year whether to continue the relationship or whether to pivot to Jordan Love. 2020, okay, yeah, we're keeping him. He was the MVP. 2021, we'll see. If he's good enough, he'll be back in 2022. After that, we'll see. And to constantly have that power, that sword of Damocles hovering over Aaron Rodgers as it relates to the power that the Packers have to say at any given year, see you later. He doesn't want that.
No.
He wants the kind of contract, and Bob McGinn reported at one point that the Packers have offered to make Aaron Rodgers the highest paid player in football. But
that
the
doesn't
total
mean
value
anything.
of a contract that doesn't have a structure that forces you together, forces them together for 2 or 3 years, that's what he wants. The amount is a separate question. The impact of the contract with the guarantees and, more importantly, the cap hit.
Yes.
It's the cap hit. If it's a crippling cap hit that comes from trading him, that's when you truly have a relationship that is not 1 year at a time. And I think they had a chance to do that. They blew their opportunity, and now it's going to take something along those lines. And, Kuhn stopped short of saying they've got to trade Jordan Love or they've got to fire Brian Gutekunst. But at the same time, the end result has got to amount to an apology. Basically, a public apology to Aaron Rodgers without coming out and buying billboards that say we're sorry.
Right.
But it creates a scenario where Jordan Love's never going to be the quarterback, so you may as well trade him. And that it's clear to anyone who's been paying attention that Aaron Rodgers has won the tug of war with Brian Gutekunst, and the move that was made last year to get Jordan Love ends up being a nullity. Useless. Gone. Over. Kaput.
Do you think Green Bay would do that, though? Do you that's where I don't know. That's where I'm conflicted in this situation. Of course,
Wouldn't they have done it by now? Wouldn't they have done it by now?
Right. That's where yeah, I would think so. Now, I mean, does all this public pressure and everything that's going on, force their hand, make them think differently, maybe change? But yeah, I'm with you. You're right. They would have done it by now. They had to know this storm was brewing. I mean, like we've talked about a lot. You don't fly out to California and do all that and think what? That it was just going to totally stay under the radar all offseason? I mean, you couldn't have thought that Aaron Rodgers, and being who he is and the stubborn man he seems to be and everything like that and calculating, this was going to be like a quiet, open, shut door type of situation where we weren't going to hear about it again. So that's where, I don't know who's going to bend here. I think Rodgers will bend a little bit if they just come to his side a little, because I have a hard time going back to two things we've talked about. Rodgers, like you have always said, I don't think wants to get his hands dirty in this type of thing. This is not what he likes. He doesn't like this. I think the history shows that. He doesn't like being the bad guy. You've always said that. The other thing is, too, that I come back to with what Kuhn said. It's a guy that's 37, and 37 is like early 30s back 20 years ago now. He's got big-time football left in front of him. I mean, I can't imagine him. I know the threat of walking away from the game, but what? I mean, we're talking about a guy, 2 years from now, it's another 100 touchdowns. It's 500, and it's another stratosphere of, legendary quarterback list or whatever else. So that's where I can't imagine him wanting to give his high level of play away right now. But it just doesn't sound like Green Bay is going to make any concessions here to give some power back to Rodgers.
And the point that we made yesterday, and the more that I've thought about it, talked about it, considered it, if I'm Mark Murphy, the CEO of the Packers, I would rather he retire, get back $30 million that I've already paid him, avoid $14.7 million in salary this year, and not have to worry about what happens if he ends up with the Broncos or some other team.
Yeah.
How many Super Bowls he may win somewhere else. How many Super Bowls he possibly will win against the Packers. What kind of a thorn he'll be in my side over the balance of his career. And if, after a few years and a Super Bowl or two with another team, he mutually agrees to depart that team and signs with the Vikings or the Lions or the Bears, we don't know what's going to happen in 3 or 4 years. You don't want that. Just give us our money back. Retire. Play for us or play for no one. I really do think the Packers are in that mindset. Play for us or play for no one. And, Chris, any opportunities they've had to bridge that chasm, as Mike Tirico characterized it after talking to Aaron Rodgers on Saturday, any opportunities, they've come and gone. They had 3 months. So I don't know, now that it's at DEFCON 1, I don't know what other options there are that they haven't already explored. Unless somebody finally says, well, I guess they were serious, and capitulates. But I feel like people are too dug in to give in. There's the stuff we know publicly. There's the fight that we don't know about yet. But if someone basically gives up, surrenders, taps out, submits, I have a feeling we're going to find out. And I think that's part of this, too.
I know.
No one wants to be the one who gives up.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.